Namaste. I'm compelled to speak today not with the easy comfort of interfaith platitudes, but with the heavy heart of a world in pain. We are seeing too many faces of dear friends and family, victims of terrible violence. The young woman whose life was stolen by a knife in a Sydney mall, the Hindu pilgrim whose journey to God was ended by a bullet in Pahalgam. Having spoken with dear and respected friends, leaders of faith, seekers of truth from Muslim and Jewish traditions, I can say that for all of us, the silent screams echo in our ears. They ask us a question: why? In my tradition, the Hindu Sanatana Dharma wisdom tradition, we hold one principle above all others. It's not a god, it's not a prophet, it's not a book. It is the idea of Satya. Satya means reality, truth. And the Upanishads tell us, Satyam ev jayate, truth alone emerges victorious. But for truth to triumph, it must first be spoken. It must be faced in all of its glorious beauty and all of its terrifying ugliness. Today, I must speak some uncomfortable satyas. The first is this: one can ignore reality, but one cannot ignore the consequences of ignoring reality. We are living in the consequences of ignored realities. We have ignored the reality of what happened in Pahalgam, Kashmir, where an ancient indigenous Hindu community was systematically cleansed through terror. We call it a political dispute, ignoring the explicit religious ideology that drove it. The annual attacks on the Amarnath Yatra, the pilgrimage, are not a new phenomenon. They are the continuation of that same ideology which declares the land Islamic and the Hindu presence an impurity to be cleansed. The perpetrators are not shy about their motives. They publish them, they preach them, they justify them with their scripture. And yet too many in the world, in the name of a misguided tolerance, choose to look away. We have also ignored the reality of the sickness in our modern, divinity deficit, secular societies. The April 2024 attacks in Bondi Junction were not senseless. It was hideously logical within its own framework of hate. A young man disconnected from community, from family, from any sense of the sacred, found a new religion online. His scriptures were not ancient texts, but forum posts and manifestos that told him that women were the cause of his misery and that violence was his redemption. This is a consequence of a world where we have devalued human connection and replaced it with digital echo chambers of rage. This brings me to my second uncomfortable satya. It is a reality that not all religions are identical, and in terms of human rights abuses and the sanctioning of violence, not all religions are equal. This is not a statement of bigotry, it is an observation of satya, of reality. It is a fact. Does my tradition, the Hindu Dharmic tradition, have its problems? Yes. We too have lingering issues to deal with. Many of them are a violation of the core Dharmic principles, the principle that the divine, the Atman, is in all. We have our own internal struggles. But is there a mainstream, scripturally sanctioned concept in Dharma equivalent to religious war, as it is interpreted by radicals to kill non-believers? Is there a dharmic concept of unbeliever, of kafir, infidel, or a dar al-harb that mandates perpetual war? The answer is no, there is not. To pretend that an ideology that explicitly divides the world into believers and infidels and prescribes violence against the latter is the moral and religious equivalent of an ideology that teaches Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, that the world is one family, is a gross lie. It is an abdication of our intellectual and moral responsibility. It's a failure to practice Satya, to be a Hindu. When we see a doctrine that produces generation after generation movements that seek to slaughter, to enslave, and to subjugate others in the name of God, we must have the courage to call it what it is. It is a problem. and it is a problem that can be best fixed from within. And so I turn to my friends, my brothers and sisters in interfaith, in the Abrahamic faiths in particular, and particularly my Muslim brothers and sisters. I say this with a sympathy for the vast majority who are peaceful, but I say it with an uncompromising demand for honesty. The men who kill pilgrims in Pahalgam, in Kashmir, shout religious slogans. They quote from a holy book. For centuries, the world has been told that these people are misinterpreting the text, perhaps. But if a holy book can be so easily and consistently misinterpreted to justify violence and murder for well over 1,000 years, from the first caliphates to ISIS to the mountains of Kashmir, then it is your house that has a problem. You must have the courage to ask, where are the flaws? Are they in scripture or are they in teaching? Is there a problem with the examples or with the role models? Or is there a deep-seated, violent interpretive tradition that you have failed to confront and excommunicate? You must put your own house in order. You must do the hard work of ideological reform. You must declare without apology or equivocation that the concept of killing the other is barbaric, that the idea of a global theocracy is a totalitarian fantasy. You must do this, not for us, but for your own children and our children, so they are not seduced by this siren song of hate. If you do not, the consequences will be a global cataclysm. The patience of the non-Abrahamist world is not infinite. The reaction when it comes, as it has many times in the past, will be terrible and indiscriminate. And to my Christian friends, I would caution you not to feel smug. Your own histories are drenched in the blood of forced conversions, inquisitions and crusades, justified by your own scriptures. While many of you have undergone a reformation, the seeds of supremacy and exclusion still lie dormant in your doctrines. Be vigilant, put your houses in order. Finally, I turn to the leaders of our democratic governments. You take an oath to serve and to protect the people who empower and authorize you. Your primary duty is to the security and welfare of your own citizens. And yet time and time again, we see you sacrifice this duty. We see you sacrifice your citizens on the altar of political correctness, of electoral calculations, of a cowardly fear of being called phobic. You fail to name the ideology that drives religious terror. You import wholesale communities that have not been asked to integrate. You allow the public square to be dominated by threats and implied intimidation. You have failed in your most basic duty. Your spoken oaths have become empty words. And tragically, these failures will accompany you for the rest of your days. My request to you is simple. Fulfill your oaths, protect your people, speak the truth about the threats we face, both from without and from within. If you cannot, if you lack the moral courage to do so, then have the grace to accept your own limitations. Step aside and permit more able, more courageous leadership to democratically evolve and emerge. The survival of our free societies depends on it. The path forward is difficult. It requires the courage of Satya, reality, truth. It requires religious leaders to be reformers, not apologists. It requires political leaders to be guardians, courageous, and not cowards. It requires each of us to see the world as it is, and to have the strength to act. Let us not ignore reality any longer. Let us face the consequences and choose a different path for our children and for the future of humanity. May the dear ones who have been lost to us in violence find tranquility. And may the dear ones left behind find solace in serving and holding the light. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina, Sarve Santu Niramaya, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kaschit Dukh Bhag Bhavet. May all be happy, may all be free from illness, May all see goodness everywhere, and may none suffer. Om Shanti, 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 Om.